For more than 1,000 years, there was a secret ritual that absolutely captivated the ancient world, drawing in everyone from ordinary people all the way up to emperors. It was an experience so powerful, so profound, that initiates were forbidden on pain of death from ever speaking about what happened inside. We are talking, of course, about the Eleusinian Mysteries.
And this artifact you're looking at, the Ninian tablet, is one of the only visual clues we have into that secret world. At the very heart of the mysteries was this incredible promise that if you went through it, you could conquer your fear of death. So the question that has just echoed down through the centuries is, what on earth did they see in there?
Well, the story behind the mysteries is a myth that's really etched into the very fabric of ancient Greece. It's this foundational tale of loss, of unimaginable grief, and ultimately of rebirth.
So it all kicks off with Persephone. She's the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of the harvest. One day, while she's just gathering flowers, the earth literally splits open and Hades, the god of the underworld, just drags her down. The ancient sources don't mince words. They call it the rape of Persephone. It was a violent abduction that sent the entire natural world spinning into chaos.
Demeter's grief was, well, it was bottomless. Just absolute despair. And in her sorrow, she completely neglected her duties. And the world just withered away. The soil went barren, the crops failed, and a devastating famine spread across the land, threatening to wipe out all of humanity. I mean, the entire world was literally dying from a mother's broken heart.
So, to save everyone, a deal had to be struck. Persephone could come back, but there was a catch. Because she ate a few pomegranate seeds in the underworld, she was bound to return there for part of every year. And this right here, became the foundation for the mysteries. Her descent created winter, her return brought the spring. It is the ultimate cycle of death and rebirth, written right into the seasons themselves.
So how did this incredible myth become a truly life-changing ritual? Well, to understand that, we've got to go inside the Telesterion, the great initiation hall at Eleusis.
Before the main event, initiates were given a ceremonial drink, something called the kykeon. Now, this is where it gets really interesting because there's this huge debate among scholars about what was actually in it. Was it just a simple barley and mint drink, or did it contain some kind of psychoactive substance to, open the mind? We honestly don't know for sure. But what we do know is that it was a crucial step in preparing them for the profound experience that was about to unfold.
And let's be clear, this wasn't about learning facts from a textbook. As Aristotle himself pointed out, the goal wasn't to learn something, but to experience something, to feel it. The ritual had three main parts. First, the dromena, where initiates basically reenacted Demeter's desperate search in the dark. Then came the dicnoumena, the big dramatic reveal of sacred objects. And finally, the legomeno, these rhythmic chants that weren't meant to teach you anything, but to create this powerful, almost hypnotic mood.
Just try to imagine it for a second. You're in a massive, dark hall. You're completely disoriented, surrounded by chanting and flickering shadows. You're not just watching a play. You're in the drama. And then, at the climax, after hours spent in darkness, bam! A sudden, overwhelming burst of light as the high priest reveals the sacred truths. It was an absolute masterclass in sensory manipulation, designed for maximum emotional impact.
Now, an experience this incredible had to be carefully orchestrated by a whole team of sacred officials. You had the Hierophant, the revealer of holy things, who performed that final stunning revelation. The Daduch, or the torchbearer, had the vital job of controlling the light and the darkness, and they were backed up by heralds and altar priests, with each one playing their own secret, crucial role in this sacred theater.
For centuries, all these secrets and all these special roles were passed down through just two families. It was their thing. But as Eleusis blew up from a local cult into maybe the most important religious site in the ancient world, well, that just had to change.
Yeah, the mysteries just got way too big to be a family business. We have inscriptions that show us that public commissions, the epistatai, started to take over managing the whole sanctuary. This was a huge shift. It transformed a private, hereditary rite into an official institution of the state. Its importance was recognized by pretty much everyone.
So, what happens when the lights finally go out? After the mysteries were shut down by a Christian emperor, who saw them as a pagan threat, the tradition didn't just vanish. Nope, it went underground, and it continued in new forms.
Scholars call this continuation the golden thread of the Western mystery tradition. Let's try and trace that thread.
So what exactly is this golden thread? Well, it's this idea that the core principles of the mysteries, that search for light, the big themes of transformation, death and rebirth, they survived. They just got woven into new movements, new philosophies, everything from Hermeticism and alchemy to, most famously, Freemasonry.
You just have to look at their foundational stories to see it. At Eleusis, the core myth is about a goddess rescuing her child from the land of the dead. In Freemasonry, it's the legend of Hiram Abiff, the main architect of Solomon's Temple, who gets killed and is then symbolically resurrected. I mean, they're both these incredibly powerful dramas about loss and restoration.
And the parallels just keep going when you look at their symbolism. The mysteries used an ear of wheat to represent the cycle of life. Freemasonry uses the stonemason's tools, the square and compass, as symbols for how to build a moral life. In both cases, you have everyday objects that are pointing to a much deeper, unseen reality.
Okay, so this thread stretches all the way to today, through things you see all the time, like the Masonic all-seeing eye on the dollar bill, and into some places you would never expect. Today, we're seeing this rise in what you could call techno-mysticism. You've got people creating algorithmic sigils with computer code, or writing smart contracts that act like digital familiars. People are even calling the Bitcoin blockchain a modern grimoire, an unchangeable text of magical intention.
Which really leaves us with a final, pretty fascinating question. The containers have definitely changed, from a clay pot to a Masonic lodge to a line of code, but that core human desire for transformation, for just a glimpse of something beyond our ordinary lives, that's exactly the same. So are we just finding new vessels for the world's oldest mysteries?